Hello students, today we are going to discuss about the classification of bases. Bases are classified into different categories depending upon different criteria. Let us start with the first classification. Bases are divided into strong bases and weak bases depending upon the strength of base. The strength of the base depends on the concentration of hydroxide ions when it is dissolved in water. When a base dissociates completely in water, then we call that base as a strong base. For example, sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide, these bases ionizes or dissociates completely when dissolved in water. So, these bases are called as strong bases. On the other hand, weak bases are those which dissociates or ionizes partially in water. They are called as weak bases. Example, magnesium hydroxide, ammonium hydroxide, etc. These weak bases will not dissociate completely when they are dissolved in water. So, they are called as weak bases. Let us move on to the next type of classification, which is based on concentration of the base. We know that concentration of basic solution depends upon the percentage of the base dissolved in water. The more the water, the less concentrated the base is. The lesser the water, the more concentrated the base is. So, we can define concentrated base as a base that has a relatively high percentage of the base in aqueous solution, which means concentrated base consists of lesser amount of water. It is called as concentrated base. Then dilute base is a base that has a relatively low percentage of the base in aqueous solution, which means it consists of large amount of water. Next, the third type of classification is based on acidity of bases. We have studied basicity of acid in our previous section. In the same way, here the bases are divided into monoacidic base, diacidic base and triacidic base. Acidity of a base is equal to the number of hydroxide ions it produces in aqueous solution. Here, monoacidic base is a base which ionizes in water to give one hydroxide ion per molecule. You can see from the example given below, sodium hydroxide furnishes one hydroxide ion. So, it is monoacidic base. It is called as monoacidic because here it produces one hydroxide ion which requires one hydrogen cation to neutralize. So, it is called as monoacidic base. In the same way, diacidic base is a base which ionizes in water to give 2 hydroxide ions per molecules. Also, it requires 2 hydrogen cations for neutralization. So, it is called as diacidic base. Calcium hydroxide is a diacidic base as it gives 2 hydroxide ions per molecules when it is dissolved in water. In the same way, triacidic base is a base which ionizes in water to give 3 hydroxide ions per molecule. Example, aluminium hydroxide which ionizes to give 3 hydroxide anions.